we have audio this morning? Oh boy, we do. Boy, this is amazing. We've got at least we got crude oil charts and we have audio and this technology is just a wonderful thing. Well, I hope everybody had a wonderful time yesterday trading crude oil because it sure gave you some nice trades. So I was sobbing in my beer, I guess, is what you do when boy, I saw some of those just every once in a while, and thought, how I wish I could do that. Well, anyway, I was um, I was sort of expecting that, but I was sort of expecting that next week, and you just this is a perfect example. Yesterday, I mean, yes, the bad news was technology crash, but when you're trading commodities or any kind of futures, anything can happen literally at any time. So that's a good example of why it is. Sometimes people come to this and they say, "Well, gee, what I'm gonna plan to trade this from here to here today." That I really encourage you to trade what your indicators are telling you. And if you get confused with your indicators, there's a reason for that. You're getting mixed messages. Um, don't take the trade. If it's not very clear and present to you, don't take the trade. So this morning we have the VIX is starting to back off a little bit, which may give these indices some more room to the upside. And the VIX is still high. Make no mistake. At 26, it's still high. But 26 is a lower VIX than 53, that's for sure. Um, the dollar's been creeping up again all night, and gold is creeping down. And it looks like crude oil and the indices are in a bit of a chop. So let's talk about crude oil for a minute, and then I'm going to talk about what we need to do between now and the end of the year. Um, Crude oil was was terrifically oversold, very, very, very oversold. And when any market, especially a commodity, gets into that kind of a mode, there's not too much place for it to go. Can it go lower? Sure, it can always go lower. Uh, but people get this in their head. Oh my goodness, it's going to go. It's not going to zero. Nobody's going to produce crude oil and give it away for free. And the same with the companies that make up the stock market. So yesterday, Brent had a terrific recovery. It it came right up, and West Texas Intermediate followed it. So today, the first thing I like to do in the morning is ask myself, where is crude oil relative to settlement? If it's below, then don't be taking a long position until it looks like it's really gonna clear settlement. And we've got a lot of selling space on these institutional zones that's above it. But there's also a very tight range where there's all this institutional buying right here just below it. Our indicators are painting green right here. Overnight there was quite a few red apexes in here. which is expected after a big day like yesterday. It'll back off. So this would be considered Apex E number one, that the full APEX right here. This is the number one. So we're waiting for another one, and it has green matching MVP to go with it. So we're waiting for another one, and this isn't it because this has got a red MVP. Up here, we still don't have a confirmed uh, we still don't have a confirmed anything in the MVP on our 10 minute. Anytime you're seeing 30 minutes in this tight a range right here, this bears watching. I wouldn't be trying to force a trade. If you see a good scalp right here, maybe. But lots of things are going to happen. We're going to have a little news here in about a minute, and some of it's CAD news. So we'll see what happens. It's not really big Canadian dollar news, and there's some U.S. news. I love, when they have this revised numbers. Don't you love that? 10 o'clock, U.S. will have some revised numbers. But this morning, it's personal spending and personal income. The goods trade balance is a little more important. So we'll carry on and trade that. I also wanted to point out to you, this August has been incredibly tough trading. No question about it. This has really been tough. If you're sitting there and kind of getting discouraged and thinking, oh, geez, I don't know if I can do this or not, you can do this. August was very tough. The summer has been tough, I think. Most professional traders will tell you that they make at least half of their whole year in the fourth quarter. There is huge activity in the financial markets in the last quarter. So that's 8:30 news. There is huge financial market movement in the last quarter, and it makes sense if you stop and think about it. Where is, I keep telling you, we follow the money, follow the money. Where is the big money? The big money is in the big mutual funds, hedge funds, pension funds. We're talking about billions of dollars. In order for those folks to have those funds, they have had to file a prospectus with the SEC. And in all the little minutia of the prospectus, fine print that nobody ever reads, it is very clear in there how much they are supposed to have in what sectors of stocks, in what sectors of bonds, in how much they're supposed to have in cash, and all this stuff. So for whatever the year is, they generally wait until mid-November through December, through whatever they can, to reposition their money so that they end up on the books when they close out their books at the end of the year, they end up within the compliance of what they're supposed to have. And many times we can take advantage of just following those moves. So next week, the big traders will be back from vacation. I would urge you to make a plan. If you're treating this as a hobby, that's what it will become, and it will reward you like a hobby. You may have a lot of fun pushing buttons, but if you want to make this work, it must be treated as a business. So I would strongly urge you to make a written plan for the quarter. I would make a 5-year plan. I would begin with the end in mind, back it out quarter by quarter into week by week, and into how you're going to handle your week and your day. What are you going to trade? How many trades are you going to take? What's what is your stop point if you lose? It's three losing trades in a row. Whatever it is for you. This is an individual thing, which is why we don't have a cookie cutter. But over the weekend, so you're ready for the first trading day of the quarter, um, I would encourage you to make a written plan so this becomes more like a business to you. I know I do that. I think most of the I know Daryl he's very clear with himself about what he's doing. So I hope that helps. Don't get discouraged because we've had a really bad summer, because this is going to get a lot easier. So once we get the server, I think they're rebooting the server. I don't know anything about that. I sure had my hands full yesterday. Um, anyway, I will come back at noon. We'll see if we got anything. This is Friday before a 3-day weekend in the U.S. Most of the trading, I think, will be pretty much over at around noonish. Some people start uh, walking away from this early. I see something here I want to point out to you on this 10-minute chart. Notice this is crude oil's kind of creeping down here off a settlement, but look at this next hour range channel, and it's kind of giving you a hint that below this ice line right here, it may just think it wants to go down a little more. If it does, it will go down to this deviation right here, and then a continued down move. I would look for the next big stop down here at the deviation level. This is a 1 deviation level here. So we'll see what the day brings, and I'll see you at noon. This has been my view from my world in Apex land.